So now that I'm out of the store, I'm ready to tell my story. This motherfucker gonna come up to me, point to my phone, and I wasn't even recording at that point. And I knew what he was saying on like turning off my camera and stuff. But why the fuck y'all being so rude? Like, I don't know. You ain't have to do all that. You know, one thing about being a full time digital nomad is remembering that wherever you are, you're a visitor. Yeah, you call it home for however long you're there, but if you're moving around like me, you're not an official resident there in that space. And because of that, you have to learn how to respect the customs and understand the regular workings of that space, that city, that country. Because hell, some cities have different customs that are normal for them. That is not something that you find in the entire country, it's only regional. And this is the first time I actually experienced a situation like this today as I went out grocery shopping at a local market when I recently just moved into my current apartment in Cali, Colombia. As many people know, Cali, Colombia is listed as one of the most dangerous cities inside of Colombia. Um, the housing is also affordable for a digital nomad like me who was coming from rent who was almost $2,000. And so, as I'm out experiencing the grocery store and seeing what they have and getting items for my home, I realized I was getting stares. I didn't pay no attention to it. I'm used to it as I'm in a Spanish speaking country and I'm speaking English. So it's going to be normal that they're going to, want to look up, look at me, see who is this in our store, speaking English, and we're a Spanish speaking country. And so having that experience, I didn't think nothing of it. I've had this happen before. And so I'm just going on about my business, honey. Getting me some breakfast items, getting my butter, identifying what it is I'm going to be able to make myself at least daily to start the day. Just looking at everything they have, honey. And I was soon to realize that shit wasn't too friendly. To be honest, I'm not really trying to cook that much. I'm not. I am though, but I'm not trying to. Y'all know my breakfast child. I love me some pancakes. So look at all the different mixes. I had this one last time. I've had the Aunt Jemima. We're gonna get the regular syrup. Oh, look at the cake mix. Pancakes and crepes. Regular. And then this one. It's not that different from the price of Aunt Jemima. Aunt Jemima is 8,200. Oh wait, this one is, what's the difference? Original and this one, oh. What about milk? I don't know what that means about milk, child. Hold on. But it's cheaper. All I see is leche, and I'm like, I know that means milk. Okay, I'm just gonna get this one because I know I had this one last time. I think I'm gonna start putting more fruit on top of it too. I'm gonna look for some. I need to eat my pancakes differently. You know, one small detail that I've realized in grocery stores is that it tells you a lot about that country. You get a chance to see what is it that people eat, what's considered affordable, what's a normal in the space. And it's like, even for traveling for months, I still find myself standing in the middle of different aisles wondering, what is this? Is this lactose free? Does this have milk in it? What is this made with? Is it made with any artificial ingredients? Or maybe even more importantly, how do I ingest this? How do I eat this? How do I cook it? But on top of that, then you have the language barriers. I know enough Spanish to survive. I can have a simple conversation. I can order my food. I can ask for directions. I can have a basic conversation. But when it comes to grocery shopping, it's a completely different skill, which is why I am happy that there is an app that can grocery shop for you. It makes things so much more easier for you. But sometimes you do want to get outside and see things for yourself. And it can feel like a maze oftentimes, trying to understand various words and synthesis and statements. And, you know, the reality is that there are so many words that you never think about until you actually need them, you know? So it's kind of like you're constantly building a bank of words to be able to understand, while you're traveling. And this could be things related to ingredients, cleaning supplies, different types of pads, which pads have pure cotton, which ones have different chemicals in them, which ones don't. What type of cuts of meat is this? Is this pork? Is this beef? Is this, I mean, I know pollo now. I know chicken. Okay. I know chicken. I know pescado. I still be messing up between the pork and the asada, the beef, okay? Um because I know different words like tocineta, I believe it is, that's bacon, but like hamon is ham, but like pork is something different as well. So learning the different words and what they mean, it's beneficial and helpful. And then even with me just getting over my cold, I had to understand medicine. I had to understand the ingredients on the medicine. So I'm taking snapshots and pictures and typing it in into the translator to see, like, okay, well, what is this saying? And what is this saying? And what is this saying? And it oftentimes show you how much you take for granted in your own language. So these are really good. They're like semi-sweet. So interesting living in a different place. Ooh, I could put Nutella on my pancakes. I do want some more candy too, child. Cause I got a sweet tooth for you, baby. And that also made me realize something else. This is probably what a lot of people experience when they move to the United States, for example. I've always known that language barriers existed, but experiencing yourself is very different when you're feeling it firsthand. And so you learn to become incredibly grateful for people who are patient with you, for the cashiers who slow down, for the strangers who point to things, what I'm saying, for you to help you instead of getting frustrated. The people who are willing to repeat themselves, like those little moments matter more than people probably realize. And I've also learned that knowing a language isn't the same thing as understanding a culture, because then you have slang, okay? Just when you think you understand it's a Spanish, honey, somebody come along with something that is totally not inside of Duolingo, okay? But every country has its own expressions. They have their own shortcuts. They have their own way of saying things. So even people who speak Spanish, they don't always speak the same kind of Spanish. But, y'all, I had a situation happen that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting it at all. As I'm finishing up, my rounds of getting the items that I needed to, finish up my shopping, a staff member came over and was like they're trying to like touch my phone, and I'm like, you know, what you want? And so then he just like started aggressively pointing at the phone, and I'm like, okay. And so I'm like, okay, maybe he's talking about, because I've been walking around recording. And so I said, la pictura, and he, is like, yeah, it's like, no, no aquí, no, not here. And I'm looking around because it's like, it's nothing around saying no one can have like their camera or something. I see other people with their phones out too. I don't know if they're recording, but I see them with their phones out. And it's like how he approached me as I'm like in my own little world, picking out flowers and getting items that I needed, and how it seemed like he was trying to like confiscate my phone. And so I was asking him, like, where are the signs and stuff saying that we can't in here? And he was like, there are no signs or whatnot. And so I put all my stuff, I put my phone and stuff away, and I only used it to, get translations at this point. But it was kind of like how he approached me that really, what I'm saying, upset me. And I can totally understand how the differences could have, yielded that result too. So now that I'm out of the store, I'm ready to tell my story. This motherfucker gonna come up to me, points on my phone, and I wasn't even recording at that point. And I knew what he was saying on like turning off my camera and stuff. But why the fuck y'all being so rude? Like, I don't know. You ain't have to do all that. All of that did not need to be done. Okay? Like, I'm a visitor in here shopping because you hear me speaking in English. And I'm thinking a lot of the reason why they told me to stop is because the way they were looking at me, and a lot of times people don't like when they don't understand what someone is saying around them. So they do things when they don't understand it. We see that in the United States, for example, when you have people there and they're speaking Spanish and how they try to treat me, you gotta speak English, right? And them not knowing what I was saying while I'm recording, like the aisles and things of that nature, I can totally understand why they probably took that as if like, yeah, no, there's no recording in here. There were no signs up saying that there was no recording and stuff available. So this is clearly something that they just added in because they didn't feel comfortable with me recording. I was upset for a second, but I had to sit down, and that's why I'm sitting down just calming and breathing right now before walking to my place. I need to hurry up though because them clouds are gray, honey. Them clouds look like they about to start raining. But at first I wasn't going to, do anything. I was just gonna be like, you know what, I'm leaving all these items right here in this basket and I'm taking my ass somewhere else. And I stopped and I thought about it, and I'm like, Monica, you don't have to make this into something that's now extra work for you. Even though I'm upset that they didn't have any maracuya juice, but I didn't have to make it something that was more difficult than what it was. I just know that I'm probably not gonna like spend most of my time in that grocery store. I just wanted to grab something quick anyway, and they're more expensive. So yeah, it smell like piss. So yeah, I'm about to take myself in the house. And just like that saying, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. That's exactly what I'm gonna do, honey, okay? What's considered normal here, I'm going to act accordingly. I'm not going to make myself a target in spaces, because then that turns some things, a little dangerous. And although at first I wanted to be like, who are you talking to? I had to sit there and have a moment and really reflect and allow my ego to calm down, to be like, okay, yeah, whatever is being said, I'm going to respect that because I am visiting in their country and I don't need any problems to, be put in my way, because then that can make my stay even more difficult. And as a digital nomad, we must be aware of that. I had someone make a comment once before about a dress that I had on and was saying that it was disrespectful to the area. But the thing is that although the context and what they were speaking in of be aware of where you're at and, dress and act accordingly, that's very true. But baby, I was in a beach town where the residents, baby, be out even more than we do. Right, y'all, okay. So I'm about to try this lollipop. It got the tahini on it, so it got the sweet and the sour. Oh, sure. So it's called Boom Boom Boom. Oh, so like it's the sucker and then it's tahini inside. Mm-hmm. That's definitely tahini. And with the sweetness of the sucker, that tastes good. So basically, I'm supposed to just dip it. Ooh, it's like a watermelon. Mmm, that lime. This made in Colombia. That lime taste in it. I'm sorry, God. It's a little spicy. I should have bought 2 of these. I'm up here trying to be modest. Should have been. Dos, por favor. Dos. Because I ain't got no more candy. Oh, I need to go out the house tomorrow. Eventually, I want to get out into town and go to some salsa classes and get back in my aerial classes. Get on the pole again, get on the pole again, and my hoop. And so I plan on getting more active. I just gotta let my body heal all the way through. You know, I think the change in weather and stuff has a lot to do with it too. But it's not too shabby, y'all. So if you come to Colombia, I'm trying to find these again. And you like to put tahini on your fruit. That's how I knew I was gonna like it. Cause like I will go to there's a local shop owned by some Mexicans. I will go there and get me some fruit with tahini and stuff on top and some chamoy at least once a week. I was up in that thing. All right, y'all. It's a lot of spicy. I'm gonna get off of here. Love y'all. See y'all in the rest of the vlog. See you in the rest of the vlog. So I had to come back and say, y'all know how I said it tasted like watermelon? Well, I done got to the center. Look at the watermelon seeds. Ooh, your girl is good with the taste test.